Hello, everyone, and welcome to OurVentura TV. I'm Sandra Siepak. On today's show, my guest is Lisa Andrews of Soundbites Nutrition. She is a registered dietitian and nutritionist in practice for more than 30 years. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sandra, for having me.
Great. Today, we'd like to talk about good nutrition and good healthy living with an emphasis on our seniors and their well-being. So I'd like you to comment on that and give us some good points on dealing with good healthy eating for seniors.
Yeah, absolutely. So seniors are obviously at higher risk for more chronic illnesses as they age, and they tend to compound. So, if you're a senior that's either overweight or obese, you're more likely to develop heart disease and diabetes and
Right.
even cancer. So we want to make sure that we're addressing all of those things. It sounds like there's no magic bullet, but
Right.
obviously, as seniors age, they tend to need less calories than most people.
Okay.
They need to eat more protein in their diet in order to maintain muscle mass, and that also helps to regulate appetite and blood sugar, which are important again for just managing or preventing chronic diseases.
Right. And I would imagine that everyone is going to be very different, and everyone has different needs. Different health issues may come up that may affect the foods that they are
Right.
taking in. Also, medication. So, there's a lot of things at play here for many of our seniors.
Yes. And it's interesting. I used to tell people, well, you can never go wrong with vegetables,
Right.
which is true for most people. But,
Okay.
as people get older and they develop chronic illnesses and they need things like blood thinners, then
Okay.
they can't have as many, green leafy vegetables as they used to be able to eat when they were younger. So you're
Okay.
right. Everybody is really individual.
Sure.
What's interesting to me is I was telling somebody that I feel like the last 10 years of my profession have been the most difficult because I'm constantly playing whack-a-mole with
Right.
all the different,
Right.
diets and fads and trends and things coming up. So, um, you know, to me, I'm always encouraging more plants because of fiber. So things like beans, nuts, seeds, whole grains, plenty of vegetables and fruit as long as your medical condition warrants it,
Right.
and then
Right.
really less ultra processed foods, so things like um, frozen meals and frozen pizzas and bacon and sausage and lunch meat and
Right.
hot dogs and bologna and those sorts of things. Those are things that people should really try to reduce in their diet if
Right.
they
And
can.
all those that you're mentioning also have a very high sodium content, which could affect a lot of people's overall health.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a direct link between sodium
Right.
intake and high blood pressure, as well as kidney disease and also bone loss, which a lot of people don't realize when their diet is really
Wow.
high in salt,
Okay.
they can
Yeah.
actually leach more calcium out of their bones, which is not beneficial to people as they age.
True. True.
Yeah.
So are there foods to limit in the diet that may not be beneficial as you age for senior health? We know that, as you're mentioning, high sodium foods, of course, are not going to be good. Uh, High fat, sugars, fast
Right.
foods, all those things
Right.
probably need to be removed. But any
Yeah.
other suggestions?
I would definitely say reduce added sugar.
Okay.
And it's interesting because people get very paranoid about yogurt. And
Oh,
even though yogurt is considered, quote, a processed food, it still has other beneficial nutrients. So I would say if you are going to eat yogurt, if you like Greek yogurt, that's a
sure.
little bit better for you because it's more protein and less sugar.
Okay.
But it's really, things like donuts and pastries and
Right.
regular soda, even diet soda, soft drinks, sweetened beverages. Those are the types of things that just don't add any nutritional value. There's no food in that food, is what I
Right.
like to say.
I certainly can see why people like those things because they're very, tasty. But,
Sure, they're palatable.
I mean, are there ways to still add things that are sweet and fun to eat without, being bad for you?
Oh, sure. I mean, if you're going to have, and this is important, particularly for people with diabetes, as that,
Sure.
becomes more of a chronic illness as people age.
Right.
If you're going to enjoy a dessert, have something small and have it right after your meal versus having it on an empty stomach.
Okay.
That's actually better for your blood sugar. And then also just pay attention to hunger versus habit. What I saw quite a bit during the pandemic and even now in
Yeah.
times of stress is that people are really kind of eating their feelings, and they really need to kind of get that in check and
Okay.
make sure that they are, honoring their hunger and their appetite, but not just eating because somebody else is eating or they don't want to
Right.
hurt somebody's feelings or that sort of thing. So, make food the base of your diet, make whole food the
Sure.
base of your diet. And if you want to treat now and then, that's okay, but it's not your birthday every day,
Right.
you know?
Right. I think another good thing for seniors is to enjoy eating with others and getting out and being a part of a group. Don't eat alone.
Oh,
Try
definitely.
to try to get out and be a part of your community,
Hmm.
and enjoy eating together. I think
Right.
sometimes that makes a big difference as well.
Oh, definitely. And they have found that that helps to reduce the risk for Alzheimer's. So just being
Good.
social and
Good.
sharing a meal with somebody else helps. Other things that promote brain health, which I'm particularly interested in. My mother had dementia. Um, is, getting enough of those healthy fats in your diet through salmon and flaxseed and walnuts and canola oil and chia seeds, and also, eating plenty of berries, particularly
Sure.
blueberries, green leafy vegetables. And like you said, just being social,
Oh yeah.
um, getting outside is really important for your mental health and, healthy aging too.
And I think, these are good tips for everybody, and not just seniors. I mean, seniors, of course, we are focusing on, but
Mhm.
overall, everyone can really benefit from this.
Yeah, absolutely. And those habits need to start young.
Oh yeah,
Kids need to get outside and play. I mean, it's interesting. My two daughters are only 2.5 years apart, but the older one notices how much screens are such a bigger part of her younger sister's
right.
generation than even her generation. And it's true. We're
Good.
we're all sort of plugged in all the time, and nobody goes outside or takes a walk or plays pickleball or something. We need people to get outside more often.
Good.
Yeah.
So I know that with the holidays coming up,
Hmm.
good healthy eating may be a little bit of a challenge for some of us. So I
Sure.
wanted you to touch on that too, and just give us some tips for healthy eating during the holidays
Mhm.
when all the good food comes out and is
Yeah.
served and people are tempted. So just touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great point. I would definitely suggest that people don't skip meals.
Okay.
And that's tempting to do. They think, oh well, I won't eat all day, so I can just pig out later. That's probably the worst thing that you can do. It's not
Sure.
good for your digestion. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for
Yeah.
your sleep. It's not good for your blood sugar. It's not good for your stress level. So just make sure that you're eating probably every 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
I always advise people to include, both protein and some fiber in their meals, because that helps to regulate their blood sugar, which
That's
impacts
good.
their appetite and their mood and their weight and those types of things. The other thing is, get kind of picky or snobby about what you're going to eat, because you can't eat everything. I mean,
Right.
your diet is like a budget. You only have so much room in your belly and and so many calories
True.
that you can take in at one time. So,
Right.
if somebody comes to a party with a plate of Oreos, hey, that's great, but I already know what that tastes like. So
Right.
I'm going to be kind of snobby about what I'm
Okay.
going to pick and choose, recognizing that I can't have everything, and
Very
that's
good.
okay. It's not like it's going to be the last meal.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Lisa Andrews, registered
Sure.
dietitian and nutritionist, for sharing your expertise for some good healthy eating for seniors and for all of us out there. I think that's a great idea for all of us to take note. And everybody can learn from what you had to say today.
Yeah, thank you. If you want more information, my website is soundbitesnutrition.com, and anybody who uses social media, I am NutriGirl with spelled
Very
just like
good.
nutrition.
Very
Yeah,
good.
thank you.
Thank you. And thank all of you for joining us today. I'm Sandra Siepak. We look forward to seeing you next time on Our Ventura TV. Take care, everyone.